Did we name this podcast?
We called it Trips and Giggles.
Oh, that's right, because I was going to say welcome back to Trips and Giggles.
Okay. So, unfortunately, we were just talking for 15 minutes.
I thought it was longer. I feel like we were like talking for an hour.
Not an hour.
Yeah, like an hour.
No way. It was
maybe 2 hours.
Definitely not.
Deep, intense,
in-depth
conversation.
Really funny comedic stuff that now is just lost in the universe. So, we talked about hacking and capybaras.
We'll get to. Okay, hold on. We're not gonna use the episode to lament the loss. We're gonna go back to where we were.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going back and we're recapping our second week in Northern Ireland.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay, that's where we are.
Yeah.
I feel like you started somewhere though.
Yeah, I was talking about how you wanted to go back to Maryland, but you didn't want to die there.
Oh yeah, I don't want to die in Maryland.
Yeah.
I was saying that, and then I was saying it was kind of a dichotomy for me because I'm also the one that's like, I do want to go back because this is difficult. There's a lack of stability, which you've also agreed to at the same time.
Yeah.
And then simultaneously, I've been like, oh, I don't want to die there. So where do I want to be?
Yeah, I was saying, I think that every place we go to, I'm like on real estate listings and I'm looking at, what's available and what would it be like to live here. And I think that just drives you insane.
Well, I think it's the timing factor, right? Yeah. Like if you're going to be looking for your next partner, at least give it like a few days into your house. Like, I can't remember where we moved into. It was one of the rentals in Seattle, but I feel like the moment we moved in, that night you were looking at real estate. Which, again, these could just be an investment property, so I'll give you credit for that situation. But I feel like there is the level where you feel contentment in your living situation is rare. Would you agree?
Agreed. Yeah, I would say. I mean, I think our last house, I did actually love the house in many ways. I didn't love the location. I didn't love our neighbor who was very grumpy.
Tell the story?
About how our neighbor is so grumpy.
Yeah, did we tell
I don't think so.
Our neighbor's grumpy story?
No. Yeah, anyway, our neighbor was very grumpy. We could spend an entire episode talking about how we call him the angry neighbor because he was basically angry for the entire 7
as of like 2.5 referred to our neighbor as like angry neighbor.
Yeah, like the angry neighbor.
She knew him as angry neighbor.
Yeah.
Like early words. Why is he so angry?
She even drew pictures of the angry neighbor.
Drew pictures of the family, like us holding hands, and then him in front of his house with his wife.
With an angry face.
With his angry face on. That went on our fridge. It was perfect.
It was awesome.
I was like, this is amazing. Like, we must talk about this, or it's either emotionally impacted us to some extent where she's feeling it and wants to draw in crayon his angry face.
I think she actually drew his wife in the basement of a house with some bones, which from it's pretty morbid.
That had to have come from you. Like, I am not talking. You're the one that's like, she's probably locked in the basement. He probably is locked in the basement,
Well, we just wouldn't see her for weeks at a time, so it was a little suspicious.
It was sus. Is what you're saying.
She might have just been hiding away, but
you're right. We didn't see her for weeks at a time. I don't know that we want to we could go on a tangent and talk about this. I don't know if we want to go into.
No, I don't think so. It's fine. We're gone. I was basically just making the point that I liked our house. Like I was content in our house, but I didn't like the location, and I didn't like the fact that we had an angry neighbor.
Yeah.
But if we could have picked that house up and moved it somewhere else, I think I would have been semi-content with that, except for the fact that towards the end we kind of realized that, it needed a lot of work and we didn't want to put the time and energy and effort and money into it.
Well, we were spending a fortune on trees that were falling on the house. And then we had a complete heating system that died.
Yeah, which we had to
heating
replace.
Cooling system that died. And then we had a sewer issue, and it kind of goes on and on. I think our house, which I did love, honestly, we also outgrew it for our current situation.
Yeah.
So being kind of the digital nomad family, which happens to some people, we didn't have an outside office, and therefore we were attempting to have our bedroom, a bedroom for each kid, and then 2 offices, which is basically a 5-bedroom place. And we did not have that. And the basement was musty and or had some kind of mold because our oldest had nosebleeds for like 2 months.
Yeah.
And they completely stopped.
I mean, I will say, like, we brought in a mold, that like a mold remediation time after we had like a little bit of a flood.
Yeah.
And they checked all the walls and like.
They did a full-on test when they did the whole thing. I mean, they did multiple testing in the basement. There was still something wrong. Well,
it could have been the radon.
It could have been the radon. We had to do radon mitigation at the end. In case you want to know about radon mitigation, we can go into that whole situation. Probably the least attractive thing you need to do with your house when you run PVC pipe up, from the basement and just stick it out into a fan that's blowing on the side of your house.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure some people in new houses do something different than that.
Yeah.
Terrible system.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm not sure people want to hear about our old house.
This old house. You ever Bob Vila? You ever watch that show? My parents love that show.
I knew of it, but I didn't watch it.
Relentlessly watching Bob Vila.
I could see your parents watching it.
Everything look easy. It drives me up a damn wall, like that in HGTV, where they're just like, I did my remodel for $5,000 because I did all this myself. Listen, I'm not handy, okay? But I got a little bit into doing things when I was trying to make some cables and stuff for audio. And the amount of times I effed that up before it actually got good was like, I don't even know how many times, which is normal, right? It's like you're weaving or you're crocheting or like any of those woodworking situations. You suck before you're good.
Yes.
So do you really have the time to suck that long if you're redoing a room in your house?
Yeah. I actually saw a TikTok, it was funny, where the woman tried to replicate an easy do-it-yourself kind of home project.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, you could get it done in one day. And then she's like 3 weeks later, and then she's showing all the mistakes, and I'm like, thank you for at least like demonstrating how difficult this actually is.
I appreciate that. I was supposed to meet your aunt and uncle for a dinner one of the times you went to your mom's house, and I also decided on that day I was going to install a ceiling speaker. I had to call them and cancel because like there were pieces of ceiling all over the basement, and I was like, I'm not going to make it. Because if they come back, they're just going to see pieces of ceiling all over the floor.
Yeah.
Like I drilled the wrong hole. I cut into the duct system. I had to repair the duct system and then repair the ceiling.
Yeah.
That was multiple trips to Home Depot to cut an 8-inch hole in the ceiling. What a shit show. So I'm glad that the show actually showed something. We're off on some other tangent. So I need to go backwards. I want to come back to your real estate thing, but I do want to talk about the aggressiveness of street crossing here. So we're in Mexico and there were no stop signs, right? We talked about this. No lights, no stop signs.
We did talk about this, and people do stop for you.
But the eye contact, they actually they looked at you.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm looking at the wrong side of the car. Yeah. That's causing a problem. So I'm staring at a passenger who give 2 shits about this old bald guy on the side of the road being like, hey, will you stop?
Yeah.
Now I'm staring at just overweight white dudes. Which is basically like everybody, and they don't stare back at me. So they're just driving
avoiding
by.
Eye contact.
And then finally, somebody stops. They just look angry. They're pissed off. They take their one finger and they just swing it across the steering wheel. Like they're like, ugh.
Like Captain Hook. Damon's making an aggressive, angry face with moving his little finger around like a hook.
Is that not a good hook reference?
It is a good
I'm so back and forth. Smee!
Oh, there you are, Peter.
Oh, that's when you're with somebody for a long time and you have movie references, but they're not like main movie references. Yes. They're not like, I'm walking here. Like they're random references. Yeah. Oh, there you are, Peter, is one of our 2 that we say
it all the time.
Relentlessly. And it's just such a random piece where they're smushing Robin Williams' face around.
I know.
That's just odd as shit. Anyway, I just feel like they're so angry at you. And earlier, which
how dare you cross the road?
Yeah, what are you doing? Like, why are you taking up my space? I don't know. For some reason, I thought that like pedestrian traffic was more accepted here.
No.
But like I was trying to explain this. I don't know. I think I was telling one of our friends this, but like usually there's just like a wave. Like it's like come on, like just like come on through. But I mean, it's aggressive. It's quick. And it's like
I think they just do that to you because I feel like I've had people stop and wave me across.
No one's waving at me. They're just giving me the pointer.
They're like, oh, hey, go across. Very smiley and happy. So I must just like, I
mean, I'd be smiling and happy if you walked in front of my car.
Oh, God. Remember I was telling you that story about...
Oh, dude. We're not going to get... Yeah, do it. Go do it. Do it. We're just not going to get to this. Let's just blow this to pieces. Okay. Well, I was listening to this show to learn about Northern Ireland, and these people just talked about random shit. I don't even understand.
Well, this is...
It's just random ass shit. They were talking about their house and Bob fucking Vila. Like, what is this shit? I have no connection to this. The hook?
I know, you were trying to be so organized.
I was multiple times I've like sat down and be like, let's talk about these things. Where are we? Do it.
Okay, I'm going to tell the story. Okay, so the other day I was pushing the stroller for our little one because now we've gotten to this habit where she only falls asleep if we're pushing her in the stroller at night. But she is going to sleep.
After how long? I've walked more miles than I think I've done in any of even Portugal. Yes. I am like plowing through like 6 to 8 miles a day. Like I'm exhausted and thirsty.
Yeah. Well, it's but it's a really nice walk because it's like a gorgeous.
I mean, the sunsets are out of control.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm walking. It's probably now 10 o'clock at night the one day, and it's getting darker. And Damon will maybe expand on this, but there are these like teenage guys that just drive in circles around the town.
Yeah, so Port Rush is like, how would you describe it? You can do like a loop of Port Rush, right? Yeah. So there's a couple of different routes, but I see it as like a triangle.
Yes.
Because it's a peninsula, so you can kind of follow this triangle peninsula, which comes to a head at the amusement park, which is like across from where our house is, basically.
Right.
Okay,
so there's these like teenage boys that drive their souped up cars around, and one of them like comes to a stop. There is a pedestrian crossing at one point, and these two like teenage girls in their like very high short skirts and like crop tops.
Crop tops? Is that what they're calling them now?
I don't know if that's what they're called now.
Was it a tube top?
Were
they wearing jellies?
I don't know. And they're like two friends, and they're just like sort of huddled together but crossing the road, but like sort of prancing across the road. Like
prancing, like antelope.
Like kind of laughing, kind of looking at the car, kind of prancing. And then they like go across the road, and the one girl just sort of like looks back with this like little grin on her face, and the guys in the car had like waved them across, as we're talking about waving.
Aggressive waving?
No, they were very happy to wave them across.
Were they?
And then they honked the horn, and the one girl goes, "Do you know them?" And the other was like, "No, I don't know them." And then they like...
Was it with a Northern Irish accent?
That was my Valley girl, but...
Continue, sorry.
And then they sort of like giggled together and then like pranced away. And I was like, whoa, God, teenagers. And then I was like, okay, I asked you this driving around, because you and our other friend, male friend, talked about how as teenagers, you would drive around in circles in your car.
Hours.
You even talked about this when we were in college, and I'm just so glad that I didn't know you at that time. But why? I mean, like, you're not picking anyone. It's not like they were like, "Hey, girls, get in the back of the car. Let's go hang out."
Actually,
they're just honking at them, laughing, and then driving away. But like in a flirty way.
Yeah, they had a moment. What if they run into each other later at the Tilt-A-Whirl? You grab some funnel cake. Hey, girl. Or when I beat you.
What's the point?
I got you some funnel cake. Want to go on the log flume?
I mean, what is the absolute...
Okay, so I will say that. Let me go to this. Like, it is pretty exceptional in this town on the weekends. And I was actually saying this, some of the real estate you've been fawning over is in an area where there's just a bunch of people in a parking lot with tricked out cars.
Yeah, there is a big parking lot there.
A lot of BMWs, a lot of just, kind of, it looks very similar to the Fast and the Furious kind of situation, but with less money. And clearly less of your favorite actor ever, Paul Walker.
Oh, God.
He's dead.
I'm sorry.
Have some respect.
I'm sorry he's dead.
He was driving a buck 35 in a Porsche and he died.
He was the absolute worst actor.
He was not the worst actor. We can go to the worst. There's worse.
He was
than
bad.
Paul Walker.
Okay.
So
nepotism at its finest.
Who's his dad? Mm-hmm. Then why are you saying nepotism?
He had to have gotten a job because of nepotism. He was that bad.
I feel like we got to look this up.
Well, yeah. Okay, keep telling your story.
Okay, continue this. So clearly there's a piece where you drive around in your car, and for some people they're revving engines. Not a lot of playing music, but trying to acquire the attention of whoever is out there. So I would see it as this. Did you never in your life, was there no point where someone tried to impress you? No one ever did anything to attempt to impress you?
I don't know, maybe, but I guess that stuff didn't impress me. It just sort of annoyed me.
You say that don't impress me much? Is
that don't impress me. No.
But that's kind of the idea. The idea was this, some kind of weird, I don't even know what it was. I'm sure there's levels of insecurity, and you can hide that behind the fact of saying, oh, well, I have this is impressive, and I think this is impresses you. Listen, I've never met anyone that was oh, you have a cool car, or I don't know. I've never had a Lamborghini or something, so I don't know. But usually, I think what that's more indicative of is wealth, and wealth is security. But in this case, you're 17 years old. You got nothing.
Yeah.
Okay, you're not Mark Zuckerberg or something. You are not ready to blow the world open with your ideas. So what is it about? I think it's gaining attention would be the fact. But did I do that? Of course I did that.
Yeah, you talked about how we went to this very small Christian college. Oh, God. And it literally had a circle around the outside of the campus.
Campus loops.
And you said that you would drive your purple car.
It was burgundy.
Burgundy.
And it was a 3000 GT. It was a Mitsubishi 3000 GT.
Okay.
Let's be super clear. It had a beige interior.
Your seat leaned back.
Well, it was comfortable.
And you would sort of with your arms sort of draped over the steering wheel.
Yeah. You'd slightly drape your arm. Your wrist is resting on the top. It's
and you're
arm.
just and
one arm's on the outside of the window. You're just holding onto the door frame.
And you would blast music because you had a big speaker system.
Of course. This is an ongoing theme with me.
And I was just I probably would have vomited in my mouth if I had met you at that time. I would have been ew. What? Ew. Who is that?
You like my playlist, though. It's a good playlist.
No. I would have been what is he doing?
100% like my playlists.
I do like your playlist. You are good with music. That's
you
for
like
sure.
the wedding stuff. You're good with music. Finally, there's something that you want to stay together with me for. I found one of those things.
The let's drive around and hey everyone, look at me in my 3000 Burgundy GT. Whatever.
Yeah. I love that car. It was great.
I'm sure it was a very nice car.
I don't know if it was a very nice car. I enjoyed it at the time. I would never do anything again because my back could never handle it. But I enjoyed the car.
Yeah.
But I told you this earlier. Did I ever randomly pick up somebody in this car? No. Yeah. There was never a single moment where I pulled over and was honked at someone and they went, get in. That never happened. It never happened.
Really, I'm glad it didn't because that was kind of creepy too.
To pick somebody up in their car?
Yeah, just randomly pick somebody up.
Maybe here. Okay, you can't yuck somebody else's yum. Maybe there are people out there that are very attracted to people who drive around in their cars with loud music and loud engines and are just driving around. They beep at them in the crosswalk and they go tee-hee and they hop in the passenger seat and guess what? They're still together today.
I'm sure there's a person out there that's a story.
I'm just saying it's possible. So let's go back to real estate. So, at this point,
Yeah.
how many of the buildings in this town have you purchased in your mind, would you say?
Well, like I mentioned earlier, that got deleted. I think.
Yeah, that was
I think
deleted. I'm trying to bring it
I know,
back.
bring
'Cause
it
we
back.
lost
I
it
know,
all.
yeah. I think that there's two different veins in my mind. One is like, oh, if I just had like throwaway money and I was going to buy a vacation home here.
Okay.
I would say there's at least like one there that the strand that you mentioned earlier. There's these like big giant 4-story Victorian townhomes that are just like gorgeous and they have awesome view. And if I could like buy one of these ones that are, you know, they need to be renovated, but they could be brought to life and be gorgeous. That I think I would love. That being said,
For your personal use?
For my personal
you would have a
use.
4-story, all stairs, inaccessible building for your decrepit husband. And so he could just
you
limp
could put
up
an
the
elevator
stairs.
in there. They definitely could.
Oh
fit
yeah,
in.
you just drill a shaft down the center. What are we in Mexico?
Hey, listen. One of them was made into a hotel, and they have an elevator, so it can be done.
Yeah, I guess you rip the insides out completely. You probably could do that. That's fair.
I'm saying throwaway money here, okay? I'm not saying
Oh,
realistic.
I completely missed this. I'm unrealistic.
I'm not saying realistic. I'm just saying throwaway.
Okay, fair. Gotcha.
But I also have seen tons of different buildings around town, and I have come up with lots of business ideas in my head of how I would buy this real estate, and I would create such and such business, or I would renovate this and I would sell the apartments, or we would become a landlord, or like, I mean, I've come up with lots of ideas, all of which are totally outside of any realm of expertise that I have. But, you know, it's just a nice little like exercise to do in my mind.
I feel like it's not like I don't do this. Like I don't want to completely sit there and say you're off base. Like I definitely thought about the idea of having wealth and doing things with it, you know?
Yeah.
I think what I haven't done is like, you know, creepily scope out an antique shop that I could possibly buy. Like I don't think that I've done that before. You know?
Well, I generally like to look at real estate pretty much everywhere that we go. Or we'll be passing by something and I'm like, oh, that has a for sale sign on it. I wonder how much it's cost. I wonder what the inside looks like. And then I go and look it up because I'm curious, you know, I'm just curious.
So like, again, like this is the depiction of whenever we moved to multiple places, I almost ended up getting 3 different certifications in school counselors in different states. And we would drive by a school and you'd be like, you can work there. Oh, look, you could work there. Oh, you could work there. Like I could just walk in and go to the principal and like, hey, give me your job. Meanwhile, there's like 2 counselors or 1 counselor in an entire building. And a lot of those sit on there for 25 years and don't leave. So, I mean, it's not necessarily the case. But point is your perpetual optimism in the situation is kind of a good or a bad thing. But I guess you get distracted, right?
I mean, yeah, but you know, like on that point though, I think that there's something to being optimistic about this. Like both of the I would say the 2 jobs that I had, you know, like getting my faculty position, that job wasn't listed. I actually emailed, you know, the head of the department or the head of the division, and I was like, hey, I'm looking for a job, and, you know, here's my CV and here's my credentials. Like, do you have anything coming available, right?
I thought you got that job by hacking.
I was hacking.
You were hacking to get that job.
Yeah, I came to Baltimore and I was just taking my 2 fingers and whipping them to the side.
And you flip them to the side, and it's clearly telling oncoming traffic and drivers, hey, I will give you something if you give me something. Little quid pro quo. This
is a Baltimore thing, I think. I don't know if it goes outside of Baltimore, does it? The hacking? There's not a Maryland thing.
I'm pretty sure that's pretty local too.
Yeah.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, 3 listeners, if there is hacking outside, but
yeah,
and we did see it, which is you know, I think
it's more a city thing because people would like hack in order to get. It's like almost like a taxi service-esque, but like just it was like the Uber before Uber. You know, it's like people are hacking to get rides from, just random people driving.
Yeah, meanwhile, they're not using an app to make payments. It's a very different situation. No. So.
But anyway, like, I'm just saying that there are times when you could just, like, throw stuff out there and it works out. And there are many times where I've done that and it has not worked out. But there are multiple instances where that kind of thing, like, email the principal and see if they, it could be that they just heard that one of their counselors is leaving and they haven't posted the job yet. And like, you get your foot in the door, right? Like, it may or may not work out, but why not just try, right?
Well, let me ask you this. When back in the day, prior to me, which I can't remember, if you wanted to date people, did you just go ask everybody? Like, I'm going to ask them, I'm going to ask them, I'm going to ask them, I'm going to ask them. Because, at some point, someone's available.
Well, there is a psychologist that has a very famous
writing
about this.
Casting a wide net?
No, I didn't. But I think when I was, like, on the prowl, just kidding. I was never on the prowl.
Butter on the prowl. We know you weren't driving around looking for people, so.
It's true. I mean, I think when I was open to connection.
What is this, a LinkedIn profile for dating when you're a teenager? Open to connection? Oh my God.
I don't think I was ever like, this makes me sound very narcissistic maybe. I think I just was sort of like, I mean, I'm attractive. There's like, not in a like, I'm so hot, because I've always thought of myself in sort of like the medium, kind of like I'm in the mediocre bucket, but I'm not ugly. I think like people pretty much like me generally, not always.
Dating profile now, be like, well, I'm not ugly. That's like the first line. Not ugly. I got my first job through hacking.
Most people like
and I love dreaming about real estate and spending money I don't have. Date me now. Only true guys.
I guess I was sort of like, I was pretty confident in myself, and so if I was interested in somebody, I would like talk to them, and if they showed interest, I would keep talking to them. If they didn't, I would go elsewhere. So but like I never really was. You
would make the move though. That's the point. The point of this conversation is about you putting yourself out there, which I'm not going to disagree with you is a good thing. But it is a good thing. But I'm just saying, like, what you were saying is, like, opportunity exists for those who go out and reach for it, right?
I don't think I was like
100% of the shots you don't take.
Oh God, yeah, let's bring in those things.
Hang in there.
Oh shit. I don't think I like went up to people and was like, "Hey, date me."
But that's what I'm saying.
But I do think I was like smiley and I showed interest.
That's not the same thing.
Yes, it
is. An email to someone in a university and being like, "I am job."
Do you have any openings?
Like that's different. And my point is like being
dating and looking for a job are two totally different things.
They're pretty similar if you think about it. No. They have a lot of similarities.
Well, I mean, the person that you're interviewing with has to like you, you have to
hope so.
Yeah.
To some extent, unless you just have a purpose.
We are so off on a tangent. Anyway.
I'm just throwing that out there. Okay, so point is you have been hardcore into real estate, and I guess this would probably go for next week, but like I know you've been looking at multiple buildings.
Yeah.
2 hotels you looked at. One building that has an antique store in it, and then multiple places that we walk by and you're like, that was for sale, but then it's sold. This is sold. This is for sale. This has 5 bedrooms and 5 ensuite bathrooms. Can you imagine what this is like? This place has a rooftop deck. Did you know it has a rooftop deck? It doesn't say it's for sale. It's number 6. It has to be this one. Here's my app. Want to see the pictures? Beep, 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 beep. Holy. And I was like, I'd love to just look at the ocean a little bit. That'd be great. Take a moment.
I think that real estate is like a hobby of mine. Like, I'm not actually buying it, but I think just looking at it online.
That's okay. I'm good with that.
I should probably be a real estate agent.
But then you have to like deal with people.
Do the paperwork.
And do the paperwork. And like there's a whole piece to that. And some of that is like, it's what they want, not what you want.
Yeah, that's true.
And I think that really changes things. Because like whenever you're cold, you think our children are cold.
Yeah.
And it doesn't mean that they're cold, but you're cold, so everybody else should be cold.
Yeah.
So I think that wouldn't be great for you.
Probably not. But yes, I have been looking at a lot of real estate. So, and our daughter also was very interested in the hotel that's for sale and said, "Can I look at the pictures?" So I showed her the pictures, and then she wanted to buy the hotel and move here and run a hotel. So
and you're going to support her entrepreneurial spirit and say, "Yes, let's get into hospitality."
I said, "Well, you're going to have to talk to your dad about that."
Why? Why is that my decision? You're like, yes, 8-year-old, you can run a hotel because that doesn't violate child labor laws and or make life difficult.
Remember we were like talking about something that she wanted to open like a cat cafe or something.
A cat,
and she wanted to
capybara and corgi cafe.
Yes.
All three.
Yes. Don't steal this, people. And she wanted to make it so that like kids could come in and work for her at this, and we had to explain to her child labor laws and why they couldn't.
She didn't understand. She's like, "What do you mean I can't get kids to work?" I'm like, "Listen, this is good business acumen. Recognizing you don't have to pay people that work from you is the American way."
Yeah.
That is the American way.
Yeah.
You know,
So
restaurant
someday,
owners have been doing it for almost 100 years now.
Someday when she's a multi-billionaire, because I think that could happen, she'll be taking care of us.
Someday. I just think like there has to be some level of limits of like I have to make the decision to tell her that she can't buy a hotel. Like why do I have to be the bad guy in that logical decision process?
I said, "Well, we don't live here." She's like, "But we could live here." You're right, Courtney. We could live here. There'd be just a few steps that we'd have to move.
It's like the other day, you're just like, "You can do anything you want to do," and I was like, "Not exactly." I was like, "That's not totally true."
You do a lot of things.
Yeah,
it just takes figuring it out.
Everything. Like if you're like, I'm gonna, shoulder press a car 30 times. Like that's not realistic. Like there's certain things that you just physically or maybe are unable to do. So but
if you had an exoskeleton and then you did it, you could. See, like there's a book, and I don't know if it was really that great of a book, but I was part of a book club for a while, and the book we read was called "Everything is Figureoutable."
Wow.
And it was basically this. It's like, you don't know how to do that? You can figure it out. There's somebody out there who knows how to do that. So like problem solve through it. And I like that. I feel like that sort of explains me in a nutshell.
You know what else explains you, Bob? You know what else explains you? When we were at our house, and this happens sometimes, there are trees, and if you don't prune some of the branches, they grow until there's tons of giant branches, and the tree basically ends up becoming unstable and will die because it can't handle having 30 branches going up without a main trunk. Sometimes you got to prune, buyer. You know what I'm saying?
I think my brain naturally prunes some of these ideas because I have undiagnosed ADHD, but pretty sure I have ADHD. And I'm like, half the ideas that I come up with just sort of float away in the breeze.
Well, I mean, we're here. That was an idea.
Yeah.
And here we are.
Yeah.
See? Optimism at its finest.
Exactly.
So should we do the weekend?
Oh, yeah. We should actually talk about what we've done here.
So you spent an entire day where I have to give you credit. When we say we're going to do something with our children, like we say we want to go to X, when I compound that and say we're going to go to this town and check out some stores and go over to like this tour, the tour never happens.
Yeah.
We get one thing done. You somehow managed to do 3 separate things on Friday. Yes.
So we, my friend who lives here has off on Fridays, and you were working, so I also have off on Fridays, or I'm not working on Fridays.
You're only boss.
I gave myself off.
You don't have off on Fridays.
I gave myself off from my business. We met up, and she had told me like, oh, I found like a bunch of stuff online. There's like this family like field day basically at Giant's Causeway, and then there's like what they call soft play, which is basically like a bounce house or like an indoor playground. There's a soft play bounce house at this other town that's called Ballycastle. And so I got over to her house, and the Giants Causeway field day games didn't start for like another hour or two. So she was like, well, we could just like hang out here, but why don't we go to the beach? So I was like, great, let's go to the beach. So we drove like 2 minutes down the road, went to this gorgeous beach, lots of beautiful rocks and cliffs. Our oldest put on her wetsuit, jumped in the ocean. The kids got really sandy. It was a challenging transition away from the beach because, of course, they were all having fun and didn't realize that the next place would also be fun. Plus, we had to clean them all off, which was...
Kids and sand. I mean, it takes forever. You know what I mean? Like the amount of sand in every cranny of an individual to do something afterwards.
Yeah.
Which, side note, did we explain that? Like, getting a wetsuit, like how freaking cold the water is.
Oh, the water
is
very cold.
The water, I mean, it makes sense because like we are basically on the same latitude, longitude. I'm gonna screw this up. As like northern Canada, like
yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you were talking about like the upper end of Scotland, right? And yet people here are just in the water every morning.
Oh
every
yeah,
night.
Yeah. There's like a group of older people that like every morning when we're getting ready to walk to our co-working space. They're out there, no wetsuit, just wading into the water and like hanging out in a circle, talking to each other.
The old
this
cotton
like
swab soak,
freezing water.
I saw it at night. I'm walking Nuggy, and like there are people. It's 8:30 at night. It's 56 degrees, and they're in the water.
Yeah.
Just hanging out, happy, chilling.
Yeah.
Anyway, our oldest gets a wetsuit. For a used wetsuit at a good price.
Yes.
And is very happy with that. But you had to clean her off.
And I had to peel the wetsuit off of her body.
Her wet body, which is covered in sand as well.
Yes.
In a bathroom where you're not supposed to change.
Yeah, where there's signs that clearly say, absolutely do not change in these bathrooms. So, but our daughter also is like, does not like, she wants her privacy, which fair.
Yeah, I give her credit.
Very fair. But she does not want to get changed anywhere else. So we're in there. I'm clearly violating the rules. Somebody that's like works there comes in and starts sweeping, and I'm like, shh. Don't
You're shushing a worker?
And Courtney's like, I'm just gonna pretend that I'm pooping and not changing. And I'm like, oh, Jesus. It was just, God. I don't know. I was stressed out. She was stressed out. It was. I don't know why it was so stressful, but it was. I think also our friend was waiting with her 3-year-old, and she was watching our little one so I could try and get the older one sorted, and it just, all of that stresses me out. I don't like people waiting on me.
Wait, who's watching your kid, you feel bad. I get that.
But then we went to Giants Causeway, and they had basically just like there's an open field at the top before you walk down to Giants Causeway, and they had lawn games, like
lawn darts.
They
did have lawn darts.
Yeah, they had bubbles, they had hula hoops, it was just like kind of silly lawn games, but the kids loved it. They had a great time.
That's nice. Because you said our oldest was not impressed by Giants Causeway. I don't know if people have seen Giants Causeway. You can Google it if you want to see it. It's super
gorgeous.
It's awesome. Super cool rock formations, volcanic rock formations.
Well, that was in April. We went to Giants Causeway. I think she liked Giants Causeway because you can climb all over it, and she liked that. She did not like the walk down or the walk back, and it is quite a walk. There is a bus that runs back and forth. But we did the walk because we were like, oh, it's a beautiful walk. But it is, I don't know how far, like a mile maybe or more. And the entire time she's like, oh, is the walk over yet? Like just.
I thought she was kind of bored with Giants Causeway because at some point it's
like she saw it, she climbed, and then she was like, ugh, okay, I'm done.
Like it's like the guys driving around the cars here, and I was like, well, these are driving around a place where it's beautiful, and you're like, they don't care about their surroundings.
No, I asked the question. I said, do you think these teenage guys are actually looking at their surroundings? And you said, no, they're just hunting for chicks.
They absolutely are, just different surroundings.
No, they're looking at other
surroundings. Okay, so lawn darts. And then?
Yeah, and then we all piled back into the car again. Difficult transitions. And we made our way to Ballycastle, which is a town that's about 30 minutes away. And they have a hotel on the water that had just like a room in it where they had blown up bounce houses.
Yeah, because we went back on Sunday and it made no sense to me. There was 0 signs. You walk into this hotel and there's like a coffee shop and a restaurant, and you have to like go down a hallway by the bathrooms, and then there's this random door and like a person sitting at a desk and bouncy houses. Yeah. Like it's like a speakeasy almost for kids.
Yeah.
Like how would you even know that was there?
I mean, it was listed on some website. That's how we knew it was there.
Nobody has websites here. It's driving me insane.
Okay, well, there is
I click on their website,
at least one
and it goes
website.
To a Facebook page. Who has a Facebook?
Well,
what is this?
What is this?
2006?
2006? But I mean, our kids loved it. Even the little one, like she was having a ball. So, awesome. But that also, it had a playground that was like right on the water.
Yeah, the sand playground.
And so we went there afterwards. There's ice cream. So of course they were happy. We went back, like you said, the following weekend, but you were not as impressed.
We went, no, it was the same. It was not the following weekend. You went on Friday. We went back on Sunday.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Because Saturday we did Cold Rain, which I'm about, and then we went back on Sunday, and you asked me for, I thought it was nice. It was like, there was a whole beach area with stones and kind of like a tributary off of the ocean into almost like a canal.
Yeah.
And there was a town area and then a long walk into this small little beach area. I mean, I liked the beach playground, which was a lot like Port Stewart, and we brought the kids again and they absolutely loved it. But it was small and there wasn't much to walk. Yeah. Like your walk was like, the beach walk was short.
Yeah.
And there wasn't a whole lot of businesses or restaurants in that area. So there was like, of course,
it was hard to find a restaurant.
There's like 3 ice cream shops and there's no restaurants.
Yeah.
So do you want to finish that part? We can get to that day of trying to find food and why we always end up as a disaster trying to find food.
No, just go. Yeah, it is.
So I don't know if other people can commiserate with this. I feel like going out to eat with our family is a disaster.
It's very challenging.
And yet I still find us doing it way too often.
Yeah.
Because we don't want to be in the house. Because we're in the house, it's like a battle to come up with activities. I personally don't think I'm creative with activities. I kind of can do a couple of things and then I just lose steam.
Yeah.
And you have to keep coming up with these different activities over and over and over again, or it just turns into TV, or something, or iPads. So I love being out, but inevitably we all get hungry.
Yes.
And we have dietary restrictions that we have to figure out. And then it's just so easy as an adult to walk in somewhere and figure it out.
Yeah.
And then when you have 2 kids and a little one in a busy restaurant, it's just such a struggle.
Yeah.
So we walked a mile into town and we just started going door to door to restaurants.
Nobody has an
What did we go to 5 different restaurants?
Oh, yes.
Walked in, no. Walked in, no. Walked in, it's a public house. They're just drinking. Yeah. There's no food. And this happened both in Ballycastle and in Coleraine.
Yes.
Which Coleraine didn't make any sense because there was more food. But I was actually using a Google app trying to find stuff. And of course they didn't update their hours or day. Yeah. Because people just don't want to do that here for some reason because it's kind of like a walk-in situation. Not everybody, but some places. Anyway, of course, like at that point, I'm getting hangry. The kids are hangry. I've lost it.
Yeah.
And, we're trying to find places. After 5 places we went into that you checked and asked people for, we finally end up at a pizza place where they told us there was no room. And our oldest was really good, was like, oh no, can we use that table? They're like, oh, we have a table for 2. And she's like, we can make this work. Yeah. And so she figures it out, we get a chair, and we sit there. But first of all, the service was abysmal. I mean, we waited over
an hour for
to get
one pizza.
No pizza. Nobody's pizza. I don't care who it is. A frozen pizza would take less time than an hour.
I was also surprised, when it came out, it was small, tiny, and we were starving.
Well, that I expected.
Well, I was just I was kind of surprised that when we ordered, because we had debated about whether we get 2 pizzas, or like, I guess there should have been more clear of like, how big is the starter salad? Because I was like, oh, let's get a salad and some like cheesy breadsticks to start with. That will, and then if we get a smaller pizza, that should be plenty of food. No, I mean the side salad was literally like in the size of a cup.
That was an
8-ounce cup.
That was a pinky nail salad. Like, I appreciate that kind of stuff if we have lots of food, but we really just
like if each of us had our own, but it was not like I thought it was going to be like a salad we could share, and I would have thought she would have been like, oh, the salad's actually kind of small, or are you sharing this? You might want to get more than one. Or maybe you should get, because sometimes you go into places and they try to upsell you, which is fine. But like, it was a little bizarre that she was just like, okay, we'll take your order. That's like enough to feed one person.
It wasn't bizarre because, no, that wasn't bizarre. One of the things I love about being here is the fact that a lot of places you can go up to the counter and order.
Yeah.
I love that. You pay them right away. You're done.
Yes.
You're done. You don't have to worry about anything. It's completely finished. That probably made the mic sound weird because I just readjusted. I love that. What I hate is, and this happens way more in the U.S. than here, is like you've finished eating and you're just sitting, staring, looking around the restaurant,
waiting
trying to
for
flag
the check.
people down like an asshole because your server went on break and left. And I get it. Like Portugal was more like this too. They don't want to interrupt you.
Yeah.
They want you to enjoy and take your time. But like we've got kids, and they have a threshold that's extremely low.
Yes.
And I try to eat as fast as I possibly can in order to chase them around wherever they're going to go. Right.
Right.
But like the fact that we went up to order and she's like, no, I'll come to you. And I was like, no, you're not going to anybody.
And then she didn't come to us for like 20 more minutes.
There's 8 tables in this restaurant. There is no reason for you to not be able to handle this situation. And so 20 minutes later, and then our pizza was an hour later. We were at this pizza place for almost 2 hours.
Yeah.
It was a mess.
I mean, Cordy loved it.
She loved it. She's like, this is the best pizza I've ever had. Rah, rah, rah. And she did. She ate super well.
Yeah.
And she's like, and I said, we're never coming back here.
And she was like, can we come back here tomorrow?
I said, no, they're dead to me. They're dead to me. No, this place doesn't exist.
Well, I love Cordy's optimism and her problem-solving spirit because she goes, well, Daddy, all we have to do is just call ahead and then it'll be ready when we come here. And I was like, you're right. That's a good choice. That's a really good solution to the problem of you wanting to come here and Daddy not wanting to come.
I'm not going to waste my finger movement of pressing the buttons on a phone to call this place. Okay? That's how I feel about it. You originally said Ballycastle. I thought it was nice. I thought it was a nice place. I thought it had nice views. I think after Portrush and how large the landscape is, like how much this peninsula you can walk around and see the ocean, this was so small comparatively. Like it's like it would be hard for me to be like, yeah, this is great. Yes, it's cheaper, but if you want a place, but like I just think it just didn't hold a candle to Portrush.
Yeah.
So also, I mean, like, and again, there's some bias because I had a frustrating situation with this whole restaurant.
Yeah.
Point.
Yeah. So, well. We have some trips planned coming up, so hopefully we'll get to talk about them in a next episode, but we're going to go see some puffins.
Yeah, there's apparently a ferry that we're going to take that off of the same town that goes to an island where there's puffins.
And we're going to go to Donegal, the land of my ancestors.
Your ancestors' land.
22% of me.
22.
What is those TikToks that talk about the Irish people rolling their eyes and making fun of Americans that are like, I'm Irish too. My great grandfather was Irish.
I mean, the lineage runs so strong in you, so it's that alabaster skin that you have.
That's right. Exactly.
That's the Irish side that's clearly coming out. Because we got to do another Port Stewart run. What else are we gonna do? We had a bunch of trips, so we can talk about those in the future and not go on 45 minutes of tangents about real estate and driving cars in high school.
Yeah.
So, and Hook.
Okay, well, I think that ends it there then. Trips and giggles.
Why do you say the title of the show at the end of the show? That's the end.
That's it.
Trips and giggles.
I mean, I don't know. You know, like, how else do you end a show? I just, like, there needs to be some sort of, like,
There doesn't.
okay, we're done.
No, you don't need an ending. You just walk. You just call it a day and say, and have some kind of a, I'll talk to you next time, or we'll get this in the next one, or
Okay.
maybe we won't.
Keep listening.
Turn your dials in. Turn those dials
Keep
on.
listening or don't. Whatever you want to do.
That's not your cup of tea, then. Whatever. Go hack.